Welcome into Rob Rod Gen X Pop Culture, and today we're going over the top 40 songs in 1986. Let me bring on my wonderful panel. Let's introduce everybody. To my right, I've got Stark of Iron. How are you today, Tony?
I am irradiated and I am blind as the new reactor that I had installed last Friday proverbially and literally exploded in my face, thanks to a particular individual right below you. And speaking of which, how are you, Heather?
I'm fantastic. But God, man, complain.
Whine.
Whining.
He complains about that. He never complains about the liquor we steal. But
Liquor can be replaced.
But
Liquor can be replaced. A universe cannot.
True.
Well, depends. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday, everybody.
Yes, indeed.
And Agent Pepsi One, how are you?
Hey, everybody. I'm doing well. I'm looking forward to tonight's podcast. Although, my God, I looked at the list. The list sucks. The list sucks of songs. I'm sorry. 50, 51 was great. But,
Oh, yeah.
my God. Oh, my God.
We have more to talk about in the ones that are not in the top 40. But
Yes.
there were some good songs here, and I can't explain some of it having lived through it. But we'll see. We'll just see what we can do. But overall, before we get started, any thoughts, any updates, anything you guys want to pressing to say right before we get started on the top 40?
I would like new eyes and some iodine, please.
Wow.
Can you requisition his lordship to replace these functional body parts?
I thought you had like AI vision, as part of the suit. You don't even know who needs eyes when you've got all your high tech.
Yeah.
Right? Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but some of the eyes are cute, though.
Speaking of eyes, do you guys know I have a mutation in my eye?
No.
It's
you have a mutation?
So let's see. My left eye, I don't know if you can.
Do you have one of those split irises and I haven't noticed?
Yeah.
Blade Runner eyes.
How is it that I had hung out with you for an entire weekend and I never noticed?
Never eyeballed me, man.
You didn't look deep into his eyes, Tony.
Look into my eye.
Thank goodness. We don't need any of that. But yeah, so yeah, it comes from my mom's side. My mom, my grandmother, my great grandmother. So there's I'm a mutant.
Well,
nice.
Congratulations on your benign mutation. You are unique and a cut above the rest, literally and figuratively.
I don't know if you guys noticed it or could see it.
I never noticed.
Yeah.
The X-Man of Xanadu.
Yes.
The X-Man of Xanadu. We got a mutant. Now we got Marvel representation from both sides of Jack Kirby.
All right. So let's get started. Let me bring my slides up here. Add it to the stage. Okay, hang on. Gosh, it helps us start on slide 1. Okay, so counting down from 40 to 31. As usual, we'll do them 10 at a time, and we'll talk about each 10. So coming in at number 40 is Conga by Miami Sound Machine. 39 is Dancing on the Ceiling by Lionel Richie. 38 is a remake of a classic, Venus by Bananarama. 7 is Something About You by Level 42. 36 is Mad About You by Belinda Carlisle on her initial solo album after leaving the Go-Go's. Number 35 is Live to Tell by Madonna. 34 is one of the one-hit wonders on here that's a classic by a Canadian band, Glass Tiger. It's Don't Forget Me When I'm Gone. 33 is a classic song by my mother's favorite band and a band I got to see in concert for the first time ever when I was like 10. It's Heart with These Dreams. Then we've got Janet Jackson, who's huge in this year with When I Think of You. And then Billy Ocean with When the Going Gets Tough, the Tough Get Going from the Jewel of the Nile soundtrack.
Mm-hmm. A lot of these songs need to be definitely up on the ladder a little bit. Venus is still catchy. I still pop that on every now and then.
Oh, yeah.
That was actually on my Spotify. I think that actually played when I was working on the model set that night.
Now, I will say, talking about Venus, I like Bananarama's version of it. There was always an argument that people had of Bananarama or the Go-Go's. So, because the Bananarama had Cruel Summer and a couple of other hits, but I thought the Go-Go's were a little bit better because I love Belinda Carlisle, but still love that. The other thing with Venus is we used to joke about it saying something we really shouldn't say.
Yeah.
Heather L gets the joke.
Yeah. That video is funny. Like Venus in the coffin, like a vampire, and she rises out, and I don't know. I love Bananarama. I love the little guitar riff, the way that
Yeah.
Yeah, I
like,
mean,
that's
good string
the
work.
best
Yeah.
part, but those girls cannot dance. So
um,
I don't know. Matt G, even Taylor Swift probably dances better than those
I don't
girls.
think
They like
so.
bounce
Oh God,
around,
no.
and it's bad. They're dancing.
This was a radio song, not a video song, in an era
for
where
sure.
video was literally stabbing the radio star repeatedly until dead. This was a radio hit. The video, that wackadoo dance, I agree with Heather L. was completely bad. I thought Shepard from Mass Effect danced better than that. That's how bad it was.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm sorry, Venus, that came from that. They were from Holland, I think. Shocking Blue,
Mm-hmm.
and I like their version better.
I do too.
Yeah.
I do too.
They were such an amazing band, but I mean, it's something about Bananarama. They're actually one of my husband's favorite, and it's okay. It's okay. I kind of nudged him about information about 1986, but that's the year he graduated high school.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to know everything, but he just does not remember. And the things he does remember are
well, that means he had a
nothing to
really
do with
good
here.
time. If he
Yeah.
remember, man, that's so
The
bad.
things he does remember.
That's a mission
Things he does
accomplished in my
remember.
book.
Yeah.
But on these, Venus is good. I like Venus, and I'm sorry, I'm still suffering from my allergies. But level 42.
Oh yeah.
That's another one.
Let me talk about something about you real quick. So Level 42 is a funk jazz band, and this is their first album that made it mainstream, especially in the States. And this was their first big hit in the States. And their lead singer kind of invented the slap bass, and he really brought that to the States and brought that into music. And it's become very popular to do slap bass after that, but he was one of the pioneers of it. And the cool thing about it is he used to be a drummer, and he entered the band because his brother was in the band. He couldn't play the drums in the band because they already had a drummer. So he played the bass, and then he just started one time just slap bassing it like he would playing a drum. And it's just amazing. It's phenomenal how good he is with the bass and doing the slap bass. And this song is just a fantastic song. I love 42.
That's one of my favorite songs in this list is Something About You Too. I love Level 42. And the guy, it's amazing how he's such a great singer and he can play the bass at the same time. Like,
exactly.
If you check out, there's so many of their live performances on YouTube and even up through kind of current, 2015, I think, or late, 2010s. And they're still just killing it. The guy, it's amazing how he can play and sing. Really good stuff.
When I think of a bassist that can also sing, a fellow metalhead with Heather here, which we got to talk about something post-show when we're done, is Lemmy Kilmister.
Yes.
You want to talk about somebody who plays strings as thick as a baby's arm but can still carry a tune?
Yeah, for sure.
Well,
also on
bassist, don't forget Sting and Paul McCartney. I mean,
yeah. On the music video for Something About You, the girl who plays the girlfriend, there's like the same girl who plays the girlfriend of everyone in the band. She was Guinevere in Excalibur.
Yes.
Oh, really?
So,
yes, she was.
Let me tell you a little bit about the video. She's supposed to be a different girl. The problem is they couldn't hire different girls, so she had to play all three.
Yeah,
roles.
she plays all the parts. It looks different. Dress is different.
And the lead singer is playing
makeup work.
Oh yeah. The lead singer is playing the clown, and he represents kind of part of the song. What the song's about is tension in a relationship, and that brokenheartedness, that fighting. That's what he represents. And so you notice him coming in when they're kind of fighting or arguing. That's where you see part of him. So it's a real interesting video. I read up on that one because I just was such a fan. So
Yeah, interesting concept. I still love watching the live stuff better
oh yeah,
than the video, but great song.
oh yeah.
I think my favorite on the list is "These Dreams" by Heart.
Oh, that is a good one.
I love Heart. I think they're so awesome, and we actually get to hear Nancy sing a lot of the lead vocal lines on this instead
Yeah.
of Anne in this song. Doesn't have quite as powerful of a voice, I don't think, but just a really beautiful voice, and she's got a little bit of that kind of scratchiness. I think she was actually sick, they said, when
Yep,
she
that's what I said.
recorded this, and wasn't really happy with it, but I kind of like that. Adds a little bit of grit to it, like to a
Adds
beautiful song, but it adds that
relatability to it. Yeah.
rock and roll to it, and yeah, just a great song. And then I know they seem kind of critical of their 80s music. Heart does, like in interviews and stuff. They seem like, oh, it's more commercialized or just more music industry driven, but that was the first that I heard. Heart was more in the 80s and then got into their 70s music because of that was in the 80s, all the MTV stuff. And I love that the 80s side of them. It's different style, but I love that just as much. I think it's great. I love that song.
So my mom, her favorite band is Heart, and she had all the albums. And so I listened to them all the time. And my very first rock concert in Dallas was going to Heart. And so my dad and brother got, further back in the balcony because my dad, his hearing is, kind of bad and he didn't want to be as close to the stage. So mom and I were on the floor, not that far from the stage, maybe about 20 rows back or so. And I'm recognizing every song that's coming on that Heart's getting ready to play. And I'm sitting there, I'm a kid, and all these adults around me are like, how does this kid know this song from the 70s from Heart?
Yeah.
My mom, she taught me all this. Your
Yeah.
mom taught you well,
How
son.
is this possible, mister?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. And so I love These Dreams. I mean, Nancy just nails it.
Yep.
There's another song from Heart on here that's just amazing as well with Anne's voice. You're right, Asian Pepsi. Heather, I love their 80s stuff. I love their 70s stuff too, but their 80s stuff is really good too.
Yes.
And I guess it's because I remembered it so well by playing all the records that my mom had over and over. So I knew all the B stuff and everything. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
My favorite Heart song still has to be Barracuda. I know.
That's a
Hot
great one.
take, but there we are. I love
No,
Barracuda.
it's a great one.
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, I'm partial to Crazy on You because I absolutely love the opening with Nancy and that acoustic guitar. And the other one that I think it's just a real pretty song is Dog and the Butterfly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one is really nice.
It's such a pretty song. So
For me, it was the other way around. I actually the first Heart album I got with the CD, it was Dreamboat Annie.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And oh my God, I played it and played it and played it and played it. I mean, I loved that. I loved it. And then I got into the other stuff. But for me, it's Heart in the 70s. That's where it really was. Usually the 80s were good, but I really liked them in the 70s. It's just a different kind of music.
Yeah, different sound, different music. I just remember, like, I hadn't had any exposure to the 70s music, and I was watching MTV and listening, growing up to the 80s music, and that was my first exposure to them. And then it's like, oh, what have they done before that? And listen to all the 70s stuff after that. So it's great. I love both eras.
But about these up here, I mean, the one that I really don't think is fit is Janet Jackson. She just is on the coattails of her brother, and that's all it was.
Well,
I don't agree with that. I love Janet Jackson.
Yeah, I mean, she's
Janet's done some good stuff.
But I think a lot of her publicity is because of Michael.
But no, I would say, this is the time that Janet really came out big. And, like, all the other Jacksons had that same level of publicity, but didn't make it. Like, Jermaine Jackson put out a lot of records with Toya, Tito, and they just didn't have what it takes to make it. And I would say, like, in school, like, a lot of girls like Madonna. And then I was with the group more that like Janet Jackson. This album was so big this year. Her Control record. That's when she
Oh yeah.
really came out and hit it big. And a lot of the songs on that record, I really like. I really feel like she's the only one who actually has the talent level of Michael Jackson. And this song in particular, too, part of I think maybe why I liked it was one of the guys. This is like a dancing video. They're like dancing through the streets and stuff. One of the guys in this video, I actually took some dance lessons from, and I had a huge crush on him. So I used to watch this video over and over and over again. Just I was like, I know that guy. I take dancing from him. So that part was kind of fun. But yeah, I loved Janet Jackson when I was growing up, and all my friends did. She was this big. It was like Madonna kind of came out first, was the big craze, and then when she came out with Control, it was like the next big craze for like girl stuff.
Oh yeah, she was huge. Agent Pepsi 1. I mean, she was so Michael Thriller had already died down by this time, and then she rose up. And I don't know that it was on the coattails of her brother, because I mean, she got really big. She had like 4 or 5 hits off of Control.
Yeah,
really, I didn't know that.
Yeah, pretty much every song on Control was a hit single. It was huge.
I mean,
hey,
yeah, go ahead.
Let me ask. This is Belinda Carlisle CD here. Is that the one with "Heaven Is a Place on Earth"?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so. Yeah. This is her first. Her first hit was "Mad About You." So yeah, Belinda Carlisle had just gone solo. She left the Go-Go's, and this is her solo album. Her first hit was "Mad About You," and then "Heaven Is a Place on Earth" came later. So I don't know when it was released. I think it was the same album. I think it's on. Was released late '86, early '87. But
Madonna's really. I like this song by Madonna, "Live to Tell."
Oh yeah,
at Close Range movie. That's a cool movie. I haven't seen it in ages, but that kind of made me want to rewatch it now. With Christopher Walken, kind of a really dark movie, but the song is really cool too. A little bit deeper than what Madonna had done before.
Oh yeah, I think it's a gorgeous song. This one I think shows her talent and her voice. I think it's a Madonna hit too.
Wrote on this one too.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a very, very good song that I love. Madonna has so many hit songs, but I think this one is one that it's just there's just such a timbre in her voice that I love.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, her voice sounds great on this one. Hey, Andy Masterson's in the chat.
Hail to Andy Masterson and Tiara Starbrighter.
Yeah, definitely.
Agent Pepsi 1's in the chat, even though she's on the panel. Lombardi 1969. Beta Zord, one of mine. Taylor Swift, greater than Disney, Star Wars, and MCU, and Doctor Who, aka Matt G. We should all just call him Matt G. Johnny Apocalypse, I think he's my newest subscriber. Hail to you. Thank you for the Dark Star raid. Beta Zord, also one of mine.
Yeah, SP4H is in the chat.
Yes, sir. And you didn't ban him. Isn't that neat?
He wasn't banned.
He's not banned.
All right. So let's get back to some
outstanding group, though. This group, the 31 through 40, all these songs.
Oh, I think 31 through 40, in my opinion, is the best 10 of the entire list.
Yeah. Dancing on the Ceiling, I'm at a little bit cheesy, but you remember like the Rodney Dangerfield at the end of this video with his goofy cameo, and the filming's kind of cool the way they did it, like an old Fred Astaire, where they dance on the ceiling. The making of this video is kind of interesting, and I love it. Made me want the '80s fashion back, but not the greatest song, but it's kind of cute and very '80s.
Yeah, the '80s fashion with the giant shoulders.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Did anybody tell you that the big shoulder look is out? Okay.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Only a Carpathian would choose now and choose New York. Tasty pick. Bonehead.
That's 1989 though, Tony.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, Dancing on the Ceiling, I think this song probably, the video really helped it, because that got played so many times. I saw it on so many different stations. The Conga by Miami Sound Machine, I think, is a good song, but it was more of a club dance song. I think it got popularity because of that.
Oh god, and everyone at weddings doing the damn conga lines and shit.
Yeah.
Just, yeah,
I'll
Yeah.
pass.
overdone a little bit.
A song that I really absolutely love on this this grouping of 10 is "Don't Forget Me When I'm Gone" by Glass Tiger.
Yes.
Such a forgotten band. They're a Canadian band, and this is just a great song. I wish we got more from them because I think the lead singer has a great voice. I think they sound a little bit too much like Survivor, though. That's the only problem. But it's such a beautiful song. I always like that song. It got a lot of airplay, and I loved it. Any thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I love the song. They are kind of more of a one-hit wonder
Mm-hmm.
band, but yeah, no, I love the song.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard it. It's not really me, so. But I do have something to say about Level 42.
Yeah.
One of the greatest hits collections I can actually recommend is from Level 42. It's
Mhm.
called Level's Best, and that's mastered beautifully.
Oh, good.
So that is something to know because most, greatest hits collections, they have mastering here, mastering there, and a lot of it doesn't sound the same, but
A lot of the
one is
remastering
good.
makes like the bass too buzzy for some
Yeah.
reason, and I don't know what they do. So yeah, it is important to get a good remaster.
Yeah, that or find a good live album. I'm always a proponent if you can find like a greatest hits live. That's some of the best stuff as well.
Yeah, but
Go ahead.
a lot of live albums though, they just sound. I don't know. They sound tinny to me. They sound dull. They sound kind of mushy, and I mean, maybe it's just the amps I use because they have a very high resolution. But it just I hate live albums. I really do. I mean, there one or two that are actually really good, but most of the time, I just God no.
Maybe it's your sound setup. I mean, they shouldn't really sound tinny.
Yeah, I mean, they just sound different. They sound different than the studio albums.
Yeah, well, definitely.
Yeah,
If it's a really good band, I like like Level 42 sounds fantastic live.
Oh yeah.
They're a really good live band. And the singer can actually nail it just like he does in the studio, which is another good thing. A lot of times live, you just don't get that.
True.
Yeah,
And another Level 42 song you definitely need to check out if it's not on your greatest hits album is Mr. Pink. And it is the song with the incredible bass solo where he's doing the slap bass, and it's phenomenal. So guys, if check that out, Level 42 Mr. Pink, especially the live version. Oh my gosh. It's amazing. So all right. Anything else on these 10? I know we didn't really discuss Billy Ocean a whole lot. Did anybody have anything on Billy Ocean when they go and get stuff?
No.
I mean, that's a radio earworm, but that's about the extent of it.
Yeah. Not his best, in my opinion. I mean, I love Billy Ocean, but that's not one of his best.
No, it's not one of his best. I remember the video was so good because it was Jewel of the Nile, and they showed scenes of Jewel of the Nile. And
yeah, right, another movie song, right? Like so many movie songs.
Yeah,
I forgot about that. Jewel of the Nile. Yeah.
Yeah, Michael Douglas, Danny DeVito, and Kathleen Turner are in the video, and Danny DeVito pretends to play the saxophone. It's pretty funny. So,
yeah,
cool. All right, let's go to the next set of 10. Okay, so counting down from 30 to 21 here, we've got "You Give Love a Bad Name" by Bon Jovi. Of course, their big album "Slippery When Wet." "Papa Don't Preach" by Madonna. "Rock Me Amadeus" by Falco, which I'm sure Agent Pepsi One can tell us a lot about that one. By Berlin. "I Can't Wait" by New Shoes. "Human" by the Human League. "Sarah" by Starship. "Sledgehammer" by Peter Gabriel. "Holding Back the Years," a beautiful song by Sleepy Red. And then one of my favorites, "Stuck with You" by Huey Lewis and the News.
Yeah, these are pretty good. They actually should be, a lot of these should be a little bit higher on the list in all intents and purposes.
Yeah.
"Rock Me Amadeus." The only thing I got to say about that is, hi, I'm Troy McClure. You might have remembered me from such Broadway musicals as "Please Don't Touch That Dial" and "When the Lion Roars." But did I tell you about the time that I worked with the Planet of the Apes? Dr. Zayas, Dr. Zayas.
This guy was Dr.
Um,
Zayas. Yes.
Yeah.
Simpsons
Yeah.
reference if you don't get it. But he's German.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's no, he's Austrian.
He's
yeah,
Austrian.
From
he's Austrian.
Austria. Yeah.
But if you speak German and hear what he sings, the lyrics are miraculous
Mm-hmm.
because he goes so deep into philosophy. He talks about history. He talks about that he had all these debts.
Yes.
That all these women came
He was-
after him because
He was a
he was a
drunk
playboy.
and had all these yeah,
I mean,
Right.
he had like attempts on his life, and that's why if you watch the movie, he had these bikers. He had these bikers, which was an homage to that concert in California, which was at the Altamont Speedway, where they had the Hell's Angels as security.
Yep.
But
Yeah,
yeah, I
that's
mean,
a great song.
but Falco did all kinds of stuff. But Amadeus is the one that is well known in the States.
Mhm.
But he did so many others.
Vienna
Mutter der
Calling.
Mann mit dem Koks ist da, and that's actually my favorite, which he talks about. Hey, mom, the guy with the cocaine is here.
Oh wow! Oh wow!
Yeah, and it's a play on words in German. And if you
Nice.
watch the video, it's amazing. But what people don't know, he got killed in the Dominican Republic, and what it was basically a drug deal go bad.
Oh wow.
Oh gosh, that's sad.
I thought he
so,
was in
I
a
mean,
car accident. I didn't realize it was a
He
drug
was.
accident.
Wow.
He was in a car accident that just miraculously went off the side of a mountain.
Oh okay.
Wow.
Yikes.
Crazy. Yeah, I love Rock Me Amadeus. It was inspired because the movie Amadeus had come out a couple years before.
Yeah, it's
And it
by
was a
Mozart.
super popular movie, and yeah, people make a big deal about like the Run DMC Aerosmith, which is actually on the chart a little lower as being a big kind of rap breakthrough, but he's rapping in German and he's just killing it. He's like way ahead of his time. Yeah, I actually think that's outstanding. And in the remix, I love that there's that chick that's like, "Oh, rock me, Amadeus!" every time the drum comes in.
Rocky Amadeus.
Yes.
So
Yes.
funny. Yeah, I love that song. I would put that higher.
Yeah, agreed.
Absolutely. What else stands out to you guys?
Well, I mean, for me, that Bon Jovi song, "You Give Love a Bad Name," I think that is just a classic from the mid '80s.
Oh,
I
yeah.
had always thought it was a bit later than '86, but
Mhm.
I had that on cassette. Man.
It's-
Yeah,
Yeah,
so did
this was-
I. I had this album on cassette, man, and just
Yeah.
wore it out. Like played it over and over and over.
Flip
yeah,
that tape. Wear
part of
it
those
out.
lyrics, blood red nails on her fingertips, and I mean, where did they come up with this stuff? But it was a garish '80s.
Yeah,
Heather, you know more about this than I do. You were there, but
that's right.
did you have those blood red nails?
No, not back then. I was kind of young, but no, I didn't do that. But I did have that big hair like that, like all the Bon Jovis, groupies. It's the Bon Jovi hair.
Heather L with a big old perm. I would have
Big.
loved it.
You
I'd
do
killed
like
to
the,
see
a can of Aquanet per day, just making it like this.
that.
I didn't have to worry about that even as a younger man.
You
when I
gotta
did
be
it.
really careful. Like, don't walk by any candles because you like
Yeah,
so much
just-
hairspray, and that Aquanet's super flammable. You don't want to get anywhere near that stuff.
But Slippery When Wet was huge. I mean, it wasn't their first album, but it was their biggest album.
Yep.
And
They
this
hit so
one,
big.
had the concert footage, but like this song was so popular, it got played everywhere, and you saw the video all the time.
Yep.
So this one, and then their next release, Wanted Dead or Alive, which came out later, '86, early '87. Both were just huge, massive hits.
Hey, I don't know. Rob, you may know this. There used to be a club in McKinney called Flashbacks where they did like '80s nights.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking about the giant hair, Heather, well,
Yeah.
I used to go in an '80s costume. It was great. Loved it. I mean, I didn't get my husband on the stage to dance though on the floor, but I loved going. And it's just this '80s music. I mean, it's such feel good music for me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So
For me, it was like play it at the skating rink when we would go to the
Oh,
skating
yeah.
rink. Everyone played
Yeah.
that over and over.
So that the other thing about the Bon Jovi, Wanted Dead or Alive, actually, this was years ago at work. They had a rock band contest where you did rock band and you guys picked a song. And I was the lead singer, and everybody else was part of the band, and we did Wanted Dead or Alive. And so I got I cut up a T-shirt, a black T-shirt, the sleeves off of it, and then I got a bunch of wigs, and so we all had wigs with mullets. I put fake tattoos on, and I had my jeans and everything. We did it, and what they did was I practiced so much, so I got it to where I'm not the best singer. I'm not even that good a singer, but I got to where I could follow the notes to where it wouldn't mess up.
Yeah, the arrow, because there's an arrow with a line. For those of you that don't know what rock band is, if you got vocals and you're on the microphone, there's a line that is basically on a very basic, very forgiving scale, mind you, very forgiving.
Very forgiving.
For you to be able to match that particular note and register. Yeah.
Yeah, in the chat they're saying "Living on a Prayer." That was a great one too off that album.
Living on a Prayer. Yeah, those three just
such big radio hits. But
yeah,
just
I can at least say, sorry.
Go ahead.
I can at least say that a lot of the people in chat are at the very least halfway there.
Boom.
Oh, did you steal that from the Necronomicon? That was pretty corny.
I have a dad joke reading Demon at my place too. He's just not locked up behind a bubble.
Okay. I would say I think my top song is actually Simply Red, Holding Back the Years.
Oh my gosh.
I absolutely love it. His voice is so beautiful, and those lyrics are just so sad and haunting. I love that. Wasted all my tears, wasted all those years. It just makes you think of any time you got kind of stuck too long in something, whether it was a person or a place or job. And then it's just so, the fact that he wrote that at 17 is just mind blowing. That song is so easy to relate to. I love it. And his voice is incredible. So melancholy though. I mean, sometimes I'm not in the right mood to even listen to it. It's kind of sad.
Yeah, I mean it's a gorgeous song. They play the video all the time, but I mean, just you alluded to what I was going to say is that he wrote that early in his life, and for him to come up with such a poetic song at such a young such
a deep song at 17. Yeah, it's just amazing.
I mean, it's so beautiful. I mean, I think the vocal on it beats just about anything on here because it's just such a pretty song.
Absolutely.
Yeah, then you have the Human League with Human. I mean, that one, that's really a throwback to the early 80s if you think about it. It would have fit perfectly like in 1981, 1982, maybe even 83. But I think it came too late for them, and I am quite surprised to see it this high up on the list.
Yeah, I love Human League, and it does sound like a little bit earlier.
It is 80s early Euro 101.
Yeah, I mean, and it's a little slow. I think if they would have picked it up just a little bit, would have been better. But and of course, then you have Berlin. Take My Breath Away.
Yeah, I love that. I love that song.
That Top Gun. Real quick and address one other thing. Human was a slower song. You're right, but it got a lot of radio play. But it also was like your slow dance song at your proms, your dances, everything else.
It was a prom song, yeah.
Like Human was one of those slow songs. Take My Breath Away is a gorgeous song. I don't even think you needed Top Gun to push it as high as it got because it's just a great song.
Yeah, I mean, that soundtrack is one of the few soundtracks I have. Because I like that one, Danger Zone from Kenny Loggins. I can't
Playing with the Boys, Maverick and Goose, man.
Yes.
Out playing volleyball on the beach. That's
and here they have that one by Cheap Trick.
Oh, Mighty Wings.
Mighty Wings. Yeah, I had that
I love
cassette too.
those.
That was another cassette I
Mhm.
had that year that I wore out. Top Gun, Bon
Yep.
Jovi,
Mhm.
the Rocky IV soundtrack. This is a
Yes.
big, good soundtracks this year.
Oh yeah. So my friend Sam and I, we used to play pretend radio station because we had the dual cassette thing. So we record on one and we play the cassettes and we pretend we were radio DJs. And so we'd play songs off the Top Gun soundtrack and other soundtrack songs. And we
Yeah.
pretend to be DJs.
I
So
love I love the Top Gun soundtrack. That was great
oh yeah.
and fun movie. That movie was actually one of the first VHS tapes that was affordable to buy. And my mom was, like, in love with Tom Cruise. So my mom is like this, "Why would you ever own a movie person?" She's like the exact opposite of me. Like, I have this big movie collection. It was really weird because she actually bought that VHS tape when it came out, and I mean, this was like VHS was just getting popular
Mhm.
few years earlier. All the big rental stores were like a big thing, but you had to rent them because they were so expensive. Like if you wanted to buy a movie, a lot of times it was like 70, $80.
Oh my
And
God,
then
that
Yeah.
in the
Top
80s?
yeah, Top Gun had on the
Yes.
VHS like a Pepsi commercial or something, and
Yeah.
that paid for the video rights. And so they could sell the VHS tape for like, I don't know, $15 or something like that.
Mhm.
So, yeah, we bought it was like the very first movie that we bought on VHS and watched it over and over again.
Oh my God. I
Yeah.
had no idea that they were that expensive.
Yeah, they were really bad at one time.
Jesus, I mean, $80 is in the 80s is like what,
It
$300
was a
today
lot.
almost?
It
Yeah.
was a lot. It
Oh
was
God.
so
I
it
mean,
was
that is
battling,
just amazing.
it was battling Betamax at the time too.
Mhm.
Because you had Betamax and VHS,
Yep.
and VHS eventually won despite Betamax being higher quality. So VHS won, and the other thing that became popular is the video rental stores started making it cheaper and more affordable to buy VHS cassettes because, hey, why would I buy this movie if I can just rent it? And so that brought some of the prices down too. So,
Yeah, I
and
mean,
yeah. And so, like Miami Sound Machine, who we talked about earlier, also had a good song on Top Gun soundtrack as well. Hot Summer Nights. I don't know
Hot
if you
Summer Nights, yeah, it
yeah,
was good. Lead Me On was good. I
yeah,
loved that whole,
yeah,
that
the
was
whole
a tape at
soundtrack.
the time. I say CD, but yeah, I had the cassette. It was great.
you
Yeah,
know, Heather, I mean, I agree with your mom. Tom Cruise back then was pretty cute.
Yes.
But I mean, he was nothing. No, Val Kilmer. Oh my God, Val
Oh,
Kilmer.
yes,
Oh
Val
Jesus,
Kilmer
Val
was
Kilmer.
even better.
Oh,
Yeah, that was
oh
some
God,
eye
he makes me.
candy in that movie for
Oh
sure.
Jesus, just thinking of it makes me weak.
He was great. Yeah, yeah,
Oh my God.
yeah. He was gorgeous then. Iceman.
Mhm. Oh
Mhm.
Jesus. And
Yep.
you know my love for pilots, right? I mean, but oh
Oh,
my
yeah.
God.
yeah.
Oh
Did you
my
know how
God.
popular the flat top and burrs were back then because of that movie? And the fact that all the guys want to be fighter pilots or said they want to be fighter pilots after that.
Yeah,
It's
everyone cut their mullet off, I think,
yeah,
right? Because everyone
yeah.
kinda had longer
You
longer
know,
Turn it into a
hair,
buzz cut, you
right?
know.
Get the
you
buzz
know,
It
cut.
certainly had a buzz cut. That
Yeah.
I will tell you all something funny. My father actually was a fighter pilot. He flew F4s,
mhm.
and he just laughed the entire movie. He just laughed. He says, "Oh, this is such bullshit." It's he says all the scenes were the flying scenes. He says you can't do much of that. He says it looks great on film, but in real life.
Yeah,
But
because I mean, there's, like, a whole kinda documentary on that, like, how the pilots who were the consultants, they were trying to make it more realistic, and they're like, "Yeah,
right,
but people have to watch this movie, it has to be entertaining, like, we're not just gonna watch, like, a steady kind of a
yeah, I
steady,
mean,
stay still thing, we gotta make it exciting." So,
yeah, I mean
yeah.
that's exactly what he was talking about. He said, a lot of this stuff. He says he wouldn't do that. He says people will get you killed doing it.
Oh yeah, especially the inverted scene. It's like that's not going to happen. But
Yeah, I mean,
Top Gun's a great movie for its time. But I actually think Top Gun Maverick's a better movie.
Do
so
you
do I. I
really?
mean, I
I don't
agree.
It,
know.
I agree.
I
not
liked it,
since
but I don't think
Terminator have I seen a better sequel than the first film, like that of that caliber, of that depth
Yeah, I
difference.
mean, Top Gun Maverick is a great. Even Tom Cruise. I mean, the man
but
should have retired like 20 years ago from the
it was a
military.
it was
But
a
wow.
great Top Gun Maverick was a great story, but I just remember like going as a kid to see Top Gun in the theater, and the way they filmed like all these the airplanes on the aircraft carrier. It was just so incredible, the footage that they got, and like seeing that on the big screen was so amazing. That to me, like now you see kind of stuff like that all the time, but seeing it then, it was like, wow, this is so cool. It's so amazing because I just never seen anything like that on the big screen before. And it was real. It wasn't, like I'd watched Star Wars a million
Yeah,
times,
I
but
mean,
it's models. This was real footage on an aircraft carrier, and I don't know, it was just not something
It
that we had
was
seen before, and
real,
seeing it up
as I like to
big.
call it, jet porn. I like to call
Yeah,
it jet porn.
yeah, and
Because they
big
would
on the big
mount
screen.
those cameras on those jets, and they would have pilots flying those jets, and they would just to get shots.
Oh, yeah, it was so cool. It
Yeah.
was such a cool movie when it came out, and it was part of the too, like I was gonna say, a lot of these movies are Cold War themed, like Top Gun,
Yeah.
oh
Rocky
yeah,
4, White Knights, Spies Like Us. There was so much Cold War hype, and so having pilots and, the kind of imaginary Russian pilots on the other side, even though they never named it. I don't know, there was just something more about the time and how big of an impact it was that
Oh,
movie hit me harder than
yeah. I
Maverick
mean,
did.
and none of it was AI because the technology didn't exist.
Yep.
absolutely.
I mean, just if you
No,
think about that, I
none,
mean,
none of that. I mean, it was actual footage. Yeah, you're right. I get exactly what you're saying, Heather. Yeah, you're right about that. All right.
Hey, Tiara Starbrighter says she likes guys with mullets in the chat. Business in the front, party in the back. Right, good stuff.
I will not. I will not post old photos of when I had a mullet
When you
simply
had a
because I
mullet.
have no. Back when I was younger, we called it the Billy Ray Cyrus hairdo back when we were kids.
I had the burr. I never had a mullet.
Yeah. A bunch more people joined too. Anti-derivative Jill's in the chat.
Mhm.
Yeah. Hey, Jill.
Jill and Andy Masterson goes on to say, and I quote, I think, wow, a lot of very talkative chat. I saw he said he went to his GF's prom in '86. Fairy Tale Lover was the theme. Of course, I go out to say it beats the Enchantment Under the Sea theme from a year earlier. So,
All right. Let's get back to the rest of these
All right.
10.
Yep.
What else stands out to you about some of these? We mentioned a couple.
Sledgehammer, Peter Gabriel, super cool
Oh,
video.
oh, yeah. The video alone, I think,
Yep.
really brought this up, but just an interesting song. This was not his first solo album, but his first solo album that really got super big.
Mhm.
So, had this song and I think another couple songs on there where he did more of the claymation. So, yeah, this one and Big Time were the two big claymation videos that he did. But Sledgehammer was revolutionary for its time. Thoughts on Sledgehammer?
mhm.
Yeah, I think that video really helped the song get popular because it played so much on MTV. It was such a cool video, cool concept. Probably
Mhm.
helped the song a lot.
I think it was Video of the Year, too.
Yeah, I think so.
So, yeah, and then you've got other ones on here like Sarah by Starship. This album was really great. A lot of people don't like We Built This City, and I understand that. I still think it's a good song, but I think Sarah is a very pretty song, very sad
I
song.
agree.
The video is interesting, but go ahead. Thoughts on Sarah, Agent Pepsi One?
Yeah, I was just going to say I agree. Now I have that CD from Starship, Knee Deep in the Hoopla, where you have We Built the City.
Mhm.
It's actually, if you think about it for the times, it fits the times perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, people hate on it, and that's okay. But I agree with you, Rob. I do agree with you. I actually like the song We Built the City.
Yeah, I do
It's
too.
it's a catchy tune, and it fits the time. I like it better than Sarah. So yeah, but do I listen to that CD often? No. Oh my God, I've listened to it like once or twice, and that's it. It's in my cabinet, collecting dust. But I mean, it's just the times.
Well, I like the harmonica on Sarah. So Sarah has the little bit harmonica solo that's just I just think is real pretty, and I think is a great song. I mean, they knock it out of the park for me. Starship, my favorite song is coming in 1987, so we'll get to that later. But yeah, I love Sarah. Heather, did you like that song, or are you a Starship fan at all?
A little bit. I mean, I'm not a huge Starship fan. I like old Jefferson Airplane, but
I was
I'm
about
not
to say, I got a story.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
go
is-
ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, the story? There was a Starship reunion tour. I was, very young, but I was able to get drunk nonetheless, right? And I was, 2 tables back because it was like a smaller venue. And and my friend would keep telling me, they would like pipe me down. They would tell me, Tony, stop, and I'd be like, drunk off my gourd at like 14 or 15. I was like, play White Rabbit, play White Rabbit. And,
Oh,
it's not even Airplane anymore. I think I was referencing Fear and Loathing at the time, but they were like, Tony, it's not Airplane. I was like, White Rabbit.
Well, they still had Grace Slick at this time, but Mickey Thomas
Yeah.
had really taken over a lot of the lead vocals, and Mickey Thomas is just amazing. He has some wonderful songs that he's been in, and he's been in some interesting bands. But yeah, I think he knocks it out of the park with Sarah. We didn't mention Madonna, "Papa Don't Preach."
Hey, can I say something about that one? This is
Yeah,
for,
go for it.
this is going out to Matt G. And whatever he calls himself now, Taylor Swift, greater than the universe, or something like that. But I have to say, this is the only Madonna song I actually like. This
Really?
is it.
Really?
This is it.
Wow.
Material
You have
Girl is
some daddy
okay.
issues?
But this
No,
one
I was gonna
love.
say this is the only one I don't like.
Tastes different, but that's okay. It'd be a boring
Wow.
world.
Oh wow.
I like this one, and I think
Okay.
this was her most influential for me. I mean, she sang, she put energy into it. I mean, that is something that is to be said. I can listen to the song often. Now some of the other ones, borderline, and also, oh my God, just turn it off, please.
It was
But
a
this
little
one-
bit of a groundbreaking song because that kind of stuff
Yeah.
wasn't really talked about that much. Just the
No, it wasn't.
subject matter. Like people
Exactly.
didn't talk about teen pregnancy then. It was more taboo.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it was kind of a big deal when the song came out, just the subject matter of wow, she's talking about, stuff that happens a lot to high school kids and no one,
my
wants
God,
to
yes.
broach the subject, right? So
Hey,
yeah, from that perspective.
I have a 15-year-old in one of my classes who is expecting, and that is something that is still going on.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's sad.
yeah, sadly.
And then the last song we didn't, the 2 songs that we haven't mentioned yet, "I Can't Wait" by New Shoes,
Ooh.
which actually I think it was popular just because of the way that they used the synthesizer in it.
Yeah,
Right.
that was very synthy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was the club scene more so than anything,
Right.
which is kind of
Yeah, dance clubby for sure.
yeah. It doesn't hold up as well, but it's
It's okay.
Can't wait. So, but I think that just like, oh my.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, it's that little synthesizer kind of catchy line.
But
Yeah.
I absolutely love Shoeless in the News. They're one of my favorite bands, and "Stuck with You" is a great song.
It is.
I love the video. The video kind of makes fun of the entertainment industry, and I
Mhm.
love the joke in there. Hey, do you want to come on my yacht? And it's this rowboat that's MYYOT, which I think is hilarious. But thoughts on this song? It's 4 came out right after Back to the Future, and you had the big thing song "Power of Love" for Back to the Future, and then you had 4, which was after Sports. So this is their 3rd album, but it hit really big.
Yeah, but Rob, you have to admit, video or not, especially if you can, seeing the videos.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing beats the Heart of Rock and Roll, where they sang about. That video is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I like "I Want a New Drug." Where he wakes up, he sticks his face in the ice thing,
Yes.
and they've got the camera under the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta go with
Good
it's
stuff.
hip to be square, man. Hip to be square.
Yeah, Hip to Be Square is on this album. But I thought 4 was just as strong as Sports. Sports had a lot of great songs on it, and it has some of my favorite ones on there, but 4 was also very strong. And I think this is about the right placement for it. And Stuck With You is a really good song. So, all right. Anything else on this list that we want to talk about?
Nope.
All right. Let's move on here. Give me one sec. All right. So counting down, we're in the top 20 now. Steve Winwood with Higher Love. Love Steve Winwood. Kiss by Prince. Never by Heart. Alive and Kicking by Simple Minds. There'll Be Sad Songs by Billy Ocean. So there's another Billy Ocean song. The Pet Shop Boys enter the top 40 with West End Girls. Peter Cetera goes on his solo career with the Karate Kid Part 2 song Glory of Love. Friends and Lovers by Gloria Loring and Carl Anderson. Secret Lovers by Atlantic Star. And The Greatest Love of All by Whitney Houston. And Agent 71 has a bucket because she sounds like she wants to puke.
I do want to puke. This sucks. This sucks.
The West is better than West End Girls on a bad day for one.
This sucks.
Alive and Kicking is the only one on this list that I thoroughly can enjoy.
Oh my
Alive
God!
and Kicking? No, I love the Pet Shop Boys. I do
Let's
love
Yeah,
them.
but I'm talking about Pet Shop Boys. I like Go West over West End Girls.
Yeah, but folks, let's not do this list. Let's do 45 to 55. There you have some great
Yeah.
You have Silent Run.
Okay, hang on. We'll get there. We'll get there right after this real quick. Let's get these.
No, I think
in.
West End Girls is great. Has that dun 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 dun, dun. The bass line is awesome in that.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
it's
I
just
mean, I agree.
weird. Their vocal and their keyboard has that weird minor kind of just depressing key with that bouncy bass line. It's such a cool mix. That song
yeah.
is like, I love that. All the British new wave. It's kind of later in that trend, but I love the Pet Shop Boys. And this song is good. West End Girls.
that one is good. I mean, that one is good.
Air. Go West where we do not.
Yeah, Go West is good. They have so many good songs.
Yeah.
But they
Alive and Kicking is
synth
great
pop.
too. Simple Minds.
Yeah, but the rest of this stuff, oh my God.
I don't know. I love
agree with you on some of these.
Prince's Kiss is great. The
Oh,
the
it's not.
guitar.
That's terrible.
No, the rhythm
Oh my
guitar
God,
on that. He did it originally on acoustic guitar. It's got such a cool, funky guitar line. No bass in it at all. That's a cool
You can
riff.
tell that Heather is an axe girl because she definitely points out the guitar work.
The guitar and the bass work. I'm always on.
Yeah,
You know,
but like
Sure.
Prince was very popular, and this song was always the Kiss.
No, think of the Kiss. But what the little guitar riff there is so cool. I love that. I love that piece.
It's a great song. I mean, I love that. But Prince was so popular right then and there. This was on the heels of a lot of his other hot hits, and this one was a big one. The other thing I was going to say about the Pet Shop Boys was their engineering was solid when they were putting stuff together. Their engineering was just spot on, and that's what made them so great. Is it was unusual. You got kind of the new wave feel, but the synth tech that was starting to come, that would come later in the early 90s. They were kind of the pioneers of it, which is what I think makes them a great band. What else on this list? I mean, honestly, guys, I think you're not being fair to Steve Winwood here.
Steve Winwood. No, he's in my top 4 on this one too. Steve Winwood, Higher Love. This is the one with Shaka Khan singing, right? Too in the background, like the vocals.
Yeah, she sings in the background. Yeah, Higher Love.
Higher Love's a great song.
Yeah, I mean, this album is fantastic. It's one of my favorite Steve Winwood albums, and I mean, you've got one of his songs is Way Late on there, the title track from the album. It's fantastic. But yeah, Higher Love is just amazing. And I think his daughter sings a newer version of it, which I don't think is as good. But yeah, Steve Winwood, guys, I mean, he's he's been in the music business and been popular since he was with the Spencer Davis Group when he was 14 back in the 60s. So,
What?
yeah, he was.
No, really?
Yeah, he sang "Give Me Some Lovin'."
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
did not.
Yeah.
Oh my
Love.
God.
Steve Winwood's great.
Yeah, "Back in the High Life" is the name of the album. "Back in the High Life" is my favorite Steve Winwood song. But I mean, Steve Winwood, I think is just classic. A great musician, a great artist. He was also in a band with Eric Clapton called Blind Faith. And he was in a couple of other bands as well in the 60s and 70s. So he brings it. He's a talented musician,
Wait,
writer, and singer.
wait a minute. He was in Blind Faith as well?
Mm-hmm.
I
Yep.
did not know. I did not know this.
Yes.
Yeah. No, he's great. I love Steve Winwood.
Yes.
Really talented.
Yes. Very, very talented. I mean, love Steve Winwood. I mean, you gotta like it. And then, Heart has another hit here, Never.
Never. Not as good as These Dreams, in my opinion, but I love their singing. Heart's just great.
Yeah, but Ann Wilson just belts it out.
Yeah,
I mean, she's got some pipes. I mean, she's amazing. And if you ever get a chance to see her live in concert, oh my goodness, she's incredible. I mean, just absolutely incredible. But yeah, I think Never's one of the songs that kind of goes back to their 70s roots, really. It sounds more with their 70s stuff than their 80s. And I think that's what makes Never so great.
Yeah, it's great. And their harmonies, they sound so great together.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. And, the other aspect about Heart is they had so many lineup changes coming in the 80s because so many guys left the band. Part of that is breaking up relationships and stuff like that.
Right.
So that was interesting. I know we mentioned Simple Minds, Alive and Kicking. There'll be sad songs to make you cry, but Billy Ocean I think is a good song, but I don't think it should be this high.
Not his best. I don't get it this high.
No, Caribbean Queen is probably his best or one of his best. So let's see what else is on here.
That Peter Cetera song doesn't really do anything for me. Not a big Whitney Houston fan.
I think Peter Cetera, Glory of Love, The Karate Kid Part 2 kind of helped that song. Chicago, and I think there have been some rumors that he took some songs with him that were supposed to be Chicago songs, and Glory of Love sounds more like a Chicago song than a Peter Cetera song, to be honest. I don't know. Agent Pepsi One, you were going to comment on it?
Yeah, I mean, you're right about that, and but he wrote most of those songs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I know Cetera and Chicago, the band sued each other for many years.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what the outcome is of that, but I do know that in the early 90s, I want to say 94, 95, he had a solo album. I have the CD. I haven't listened to it in several years, but it is phenomenal. It's much better than any of this 80s stuff.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I'm going to get you the title of that CD.
Cool.
So it's just absolutely, it's strong from beginning to end. So it's just in the 80s. I just didn't, I like Chicago, but when he started doing his solo stuff, it was just not
as strong.
Maybe it was just not developed.
No,
it should be.
No, plus you missed the brass of Chicago, which the background brass of Chicago really helped sell their sound. Now, I'll explain Friends and Lovers. That was a slow dance song that we've talked about before.
Yeah.
It's that one, and I'll be your friend, and I'll be your, that's probably what made that popular because that's a slow dance song.
The slow dance song, yeah.
Yeah, Atlantic Star, Secret Lovers. I don't think is that great a song. I don't know how it got that high. I never thought it's a cheating song, but
Well, then maybe that's why it's that high.
Maybe.
A lot of people were cheating.
Yeah. And then, Whitney Houston, The Greatest Love of All, Whitney Houston's got a beautiful voice. I just think that this song was way overplayed in the 80s. Heather, do you agree?
Mm-hmm.
That
Heather and Rob, I actually have a first take. Now I know that y'all are probably asking, what do you mean first take? a first take of Whitney and this audition with her song. So Jarvis, if you could roll the clip, that'd be great.
What was that?
Okay, what was that? I actually,
Uh,
I thought that Eddie Murphy making fun of it and Coming to America was pretty funny.
Yeah,
But and a lot of people have made fun of this song.
I
was-
know. It's a trend that I'm just now getting on. But hey,
But yeah, I mean, it's very, very interesting song. But it was way overplayed, and I think some of it was used to raise money for something for kid cancer or something like that too. So that's
oh, probably.
so.
Yeah.
But
well, who run Bartertown?
yeah, Master Blaster.
Yeah, Master Blaster was a great album.
Yeah,
Stevie Wonder.
yeah. All right. So
Yes, I agree with that one.
yeah, before we get into the top 10, let's talk about 100 through
Oh my God.
41. What stands out to you? Let's talk
The
about
whole thing. The whole.
The whole
Oh yeah,
freaking
No,
thing.
no. Let me tell you something. What's not on here and should be on here? Silent Running.
Oh yeah.
But,
Well,
you
let's
know, I mean,
let's pause
Mighty-
right there with Mike and the Mechanics. Tell me more about Mike and the Mechanics, Age of MC
Yeah.
Mike.
yeah, Mike and Mechanics. They're actually from Genesis.
Mhm.
I can't remember what it was.
Mike
And
Mike Rutherford's side band.
yeah, the video for Silent Running is, in my opinion, the best music video ever made.
Hmm.
It has a science fiction theme.
Mhm.
It's like a Stanley Kubrick directed movie.
Mhm.
I mean, it is simply spectacular.
Mhm.
And what you have it like at number 50 or 55. Now, mind you, I don't have the list in front of me because I have two windows open on my Chromebook, and I think if I
So,
open another one,
I've got
it'll crash.
Yeah,
So
so
I'm trying to do a nuclear hot rod. Yeah.
Yeah, so Silent Running came in at number 70. I think it had just come out late 1986, early 1987, because Mike and the Mechanics had some great songs.
Yeah.
I mean, you had Silent Running.
Look at number 45. What's 45 and 48?
So 45 is Let's Go All the Way by Sly Fox.
Mhm.
That's not it. Yeah, I can't open the list.
48 is the Bangles with Manic Monday, which is a
Yeah,
great.
exactly. That's one. That's I love that song.
Yep.
You mentioned 50. 50 is Amanda by Boston, which is a classic.
Yes,
Love
the
that
third,
song. Third
the
Stage,
third-
great
the
album.
third stage CD is the best they've done. I'm a huge Boston fan, and this is it.
Ooh,
And I don't care what this Tony Stark has to say. This is it. This was the pinnacle of their career, and no matter how much head shaking.
Well, Third Stage
I'm-
took a while for them to do because
Yeah, it's like 4 years, I heard.
I will let you embrace your passions.
You had Amanda off, and you had Third Stage itself. Oh my God!
I'm gonna say I agree with West Cagle, Van Halen. Why can't this be
Yes.
love
Oh,
on the
yeah.
list?
But
And,
Yeah.
50 is my favorite.
And it's hilarious that
51,
it's also
50
number
comes
69.
How
which is
about
nice.
how about Dreams?
Oh, Dreams is
Yeah.
my favorite Van Halen song. But this is Sammy's first album.
yeah,
And
Sammy Hagar's first album, which a lot of
Mhm.
people, there's kind of a split. Is it really, was Van Halen with David Lee Roth better or Sammy Hagar better? But this was a great album, 5150.
Yeah.
Either way,
Exactly. But
great songs. So many great songs on this album.
5150. Yeah, Love Walks In, Dreams,
Yep.
Why Can't This Be Love?
Yeah.
yeah, where
Amazing
is
album.
Dreams on this list? Why is that like number 1?
I got a
and 2?
list.
Dreams should be on this list, but Dreams
Yeah.
is. I think Dreams came out a little bit
Came out
later.
later. I think Why
Yep.
Can't This Be Love was one of the earlier
Yeah.
releases, so it got
No.
in there.
All right, I'm gonna go
Let's
over
see
my
it.
list.
Okay, go ahead,
Quite
Stark.
extensive. Well, let's start with Tarzan Boy. I don't see why
Oh,
that
yes.
didn't make it.
Baltimore.
Oh my God.
That
Small
song
Town
again for the
by
listener.
Mellencamp right
Good
above
stuff.
it. Okay, Why Can't This Be Love? Obviously, Who's Johnny? Didn't make it? I'm shocked. Rockin' the USA. That's 2 by Mellencamp. Living in America. Why? Just why? Just why?
Living in
Invisible
America
Touch
for
by
Rocky
Genesis.
IV.
I love you, Gil, but that's a great song. Like there's just so many. Manic Monday, A Walk of Life, Dire Straits. It's not on there.
Yes, Walk of Life.
What? The
Fantastic.
Danger
Dire
Zone?
Yeah,
And
I
True
mean,
Colors
this
just
Taboo?
missed it. True Colors by Cyndi Lauper just missed it.
Yep.
As I was going over this, my teeth just started to crack more and
Yeah,
more
I
like in
mean-
the cartoons.
It did.
It just this is like, are you freaking kidding me, dude?
Hey,
Ah,
how about number 51 by Stacey Q? I have
Yes!
I have the list now. Invisible Touch by Genesis.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, 70 sound.
Two of Hearts
I'd
by
say,
Stacey Q.
Nikita,
Life
Elton
in a
John.
Northern Town is amazing.
Oh yeah, that's a beautiful song. You know,
Moody
that song
Blues.
didn't get as much play as it should have. It was used to really help a charity in England and in the Northeast, but for some reason it didn't get as much play as it should have. But yeah, Life in a Northern Town is a beautiful song.
Yeah, I mean, oh my God. I mean, there's so many here
Well-
that it just completely missed it.
Okay,
And
so
Yeah.
I think
Moody-
everybody
Moody-
was just,
Blues
really
in Your Wildest
speeding through
Dreams.
it because
Oh, yeah, that's
this
my favorite
was 1986 and everybody could get Coke for 10 a bag. Okay. It's fine.
And I think, the
Fine.
soundtracks, the movie soundtracks were really
Yeah.
dominating
Yeah.
a lot of the
So-
list. And I think because of the movies, they got a ton of play.
Mhm.
So that was one thing. I would say one also, on the list, not on the list, but albums that came out that year, in addition to 5150, Metallica's Master of Puppets was
Yes.
really big.
That's a good one.
Megadeth, Peace Sells, But Who's Buying?
Oh my
was
God,
big
yes.
that year. Ozzy's Ultimate Sin was really big that year. Then non-metal Depeche Mode's Black Celebration.
Mhm.
And then the New Order. God, that slips my mind now.
Was it Blue Monday? Or Blue Monday came out before?
Yeah,
that?
Blue Monday was on
Blue
it,
Monday.
I think.
Yeah.
What else? Other song? It was a New Order album. I can't remember the name.
Didn't Hangar 18 come out in 86?
I
Or was that 85?
don't know.
That's my favorite Megadeth song of all time.
Yeah. So let me talk about a couple of albums and a couple of songs here too that we haven't mentioned. So first off, 1986 for me as a kid was a big year because a big movie came to the screen from my favorite cartoon heroes, Transformers the movie, and the album.
No Stan Bush.
So the album came out a couple weeks before the movie, and one of my friends got it. And on the album is part of a song called "The Death of Optimus Prime." So we knew Optimus Prime was going to die. So we were some of the few kids who didn't go to the movie not knowing and crying. The other thing was The Touch came out way before the movie aired, and it had footages of the movie, and we loved the video and loved that song. I still love that song. I'm a big Transformers fan, big masterpiece collector, geek. So I geek out on that. So that was from 1986. But on this list, none of those are on the list, by the way, for Transformers the movie, even though Dare to Be Stupid from Rudolph Yankovic should have been a more popular song. One of the bands that I think gets overlooked, and they've been overlooked again for the Hall of Fame, and it really hacks me off because they have some great albums. They did backing for a ton of hits. Is Toto, Steve Wonder and Toto, and they've got
Yes,
a
indeed.
beautiful song at 99 called "I'll Be Over You,"
Yeah.
which is just an absolutely gorgeous song. And the other king of the backup singers, Michael McDonald, also sings on part of that. Go look that up. It's a gorgeous song. One of Toto's best. You guys mentioned "In Your Wildest Dreams." That's one of my favorite Moody Blues songs.
I love that song.
Which is just great. I love the guitar coming in with the beginning of it, and then the guitar comes in and the drums. It's just great. Phil Collins' "Take Me Home." He ends his concerts with that all the time, and I'll never forget seeing him before the pandemic and him playing that, and it just was amazing because you had all this confetti come down, and it's just awesome. It was a lot of fun. But Genesis, "Throwing It All the Way," is a great song too. So Phil Collins and Mike Rutherford both had their secondary bands and Genesis at the same time. Genesis, they agreed to do solo stuff and their stuff together, which is usually highly unusual for a band. You don't usually get that because usually you've got jealousy and other stuff. But they were so creative, they let that happen, which I think should be said. The Cars, Tonight She Comes, is a lesser known song by them, but still a good Rick Ocasek song. Love Touch was very popular by Rod Stewart.
Hey,
Go ahead.
how about Eddie Money? That song by Eddie Money. I can't remember it now, but it was from '86. You're gonna be my baby or something like that.
Take Me Home Tonight with Ronnie from the Ronettes. Yes, I love that song. So, yeah, and then Robert Palmer, I Didn't Mean to Turn You On at number 46. Miami Sound Machine, I think this is a better song than Conga. Words Get in the Way. Do you guys know that one?
Words Get in the Way.
I
don't think so.
don't remember that. I mean,
not ringing a bell.
Yeah. What You Need by
Probably. Once I heard it, I probably would.
Yeah. In Excess, What You Need was played.
Yeah, that's what I say. In Excess, What You Need. This is where they started getting big when they first came out. That was good. Also, ZZ Top, Sleeping Bag. I know it's a departure from their more rock sound. They start getting into the little bit of the synth and kind of electric drum beat, but I love ZZ Top and Sleeping Bag, and that video is just a continuation of the hot rod, the red hot rod, and the girls that come out. And this video is so funny because they're like magic, the band's like magic, and they help the guy escape with the money. Like they'll appear, like make a bridge go over where these bad guys are chasing them, so they get away over the bridge, and then it disappears, and like they make the keys appear, then the car rolls up. Like, ZZ Top is like the ultimate cool with their video, and they're like camping, and those girls, you could see the silhouette of those girls with the high heels walking across the tent. Like, it's so fun. I just love those guys, and their videos were just so much fun.
And they all related to each other. This was, I think, the first song off of Afterburner.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Afterburner has my favorite ZZ Top song, which I hope is on the top 40 for 1987. It's off of Afterburner.
Yeah, I hope so.
Rough Boy is my favorite ZZ Top song. So love that one. Michael McDonald's Sweet is actually a pretty good song too. That True Blue by Madonna. Age of Pepsi One. I know you don't like Madonna, but I
okay. I mean,
The Outfield. Josie's on a vacation far away. If I could sing, I would sing that. I love that opening line, how it just starts right out.
Josie's on a vacation far away.
Come around to talk it over.
You're welcome, Heather.
Yeah.
Things that I won't say.
I like my girls a little bit older. I just want to use your love tonight. I don't want to lose your love tonight. Anyway,
okay, enough of our serenading.
What are you talking about? I can't sing. I'll shut up now.
But yeah, I mean, these are all the ones that didn't make the top 40, and you're
so great. Yeah.
Yeah.
40 through 100 is way better, I think, than the top. But for the most part, I mean, there's some great stuff, but there's so many great ones.
But here's what I think happened in '86 when we get to kind of, you see the movies and their impact with soundtrack, but I think you have corporations coming in as well. They're wanting to sell the movie and they're wanting to sell the soundtrack. So you had both of that. And then you had celebrities that we're going to see in the top 10 were part of the reason why they got some of that status. So I think there was this big push in 86, 85, 86, 87 towards that. And so that's where I think some of these wonderful artists that are down further on the charts aren't as high as they should be. Because really, to be honest with you guys, I think 40 through 31 should be, all those songs should be much higher as well. So are we ready to get into the top 10 and round this up?
No, really all.
Age of Pepsi One didn't like it, but we're going to go through
No. Oh, my God.
Permission to Nelson Age of Pepsi One when we flip the slide.
No. All right. So let's do top 10. Top 10 is Addicted to Love by Robert Palmer. Kyrie by Mr. Mister, which I think is a good song. Burning Heart from Survivor off the Rocky IV soundtrack. Party All the Time by Eddie Murphy, How Will I Know by Whitney Houston, Broken Wings by Mr. Mister, On My Own by Patti LaBelle and Michael McDonald, I Miss You by Climax, Say You, Say Me from Lionel
Mhm.
Richie from the White Knights, and That's What Friends Are For by Donnie and Friends, Donnie Warwick, Gladys Knight, Elton John, and Stevie Wonder. So
Yeah.
let's talk
Wasn't
about
that one a fundraiser?
I
Friends
don't know that
Are
it was, but I think it got popular because, well, let's talk about it real quick. So, like, Stevie Wonder's harmonica is the best part of the song.
Mhm.
And I think her getting Gladys Knight and Elton John and Stevie Wonder to all sing on it
I
really
thought
sold it.
they sang that like at a benefit or something. There was some
think they did too,
fundraiser
yeah.
associated with it. I just can't remember. There were so many. That was the start of that trend with all the, we all are the world last time. And there were just so many in that era. They just was a fundraiser for everything, it seems like.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty song. I think it's helped by all the different singers and the harmonica. The harmonica just takes it. That's what I love about this song.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember it being some part of a fundraiser or something like that. So maybe cancer or something like that. So I don't know if that's the story. Any other thoughts, Tony? Ages 51. Do you like That's What Friends Are For?
Mm,
No?
well, I will tell you that. I will tell you this. That, okay.
I mean,
don't
that
reserve
was
judgment.
my entire synopsis. Why waste words on something that obvious?
Yeah, but I mean, look, all these Lionel Richie, Say You, Say Me is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah,
Yes, I like that. It's from
It's
White
a pretty
Nights.
song. It beat
It is a
Power of
pretty
Love
song.
for the Oscar though. So
Addicted to Love. I mean,
I love
that
that.
is one of those songs that like ruled the '80s for me.
oh yeah, him and
If
that.
I think, yeah, I just think if I see the video, I just think, oh my god, if I could go there and just one or 2 days like a vacation or something.
And be one of
'Cause
those girls, like have that
yeah,
black dress and the red lipstick
exactly.
and just the look, the whole visual
Yeah,
of that
that look is
video.
I want to be
amazing.
Robert Palmer,
Outstanding.
surrounded by all those hot women.
And you just can't beat that look. It's great stuff.
Yeah, but the rest of the stuff, I'm really not that. It just doesn't do it for me. Broken Wings, nah. I don't like Eddie Murphy singing.
No.
Survivor is
No.
good. I enjoy Survivor, but I think at this point they were on the way down in their career. I mean, it's not the same thing than like Eye of the Tiger, for example.
Not a great song. I actually, on the Rocky 4 soundtrack, I liked that the training montage, which is all instrumental.
Okay.
Actually, my
Mhm.
favorite thing on the Rocky 4
Yeah.
soundtrack, if you listen to that, it's really also it kind of sounds a little bit like a Harold Faltermeyer keyboard, but it's a different composer. But it's really cool. You know the one where he's training in Siberia and it shows him like Drago in the gym and him in the
Yeah,
ice.
exactly.
It's really cool music. The music
That's
is
part of Heather
outstanding.
L's Spotify workout playlist, ladies and gentlemen.
I look like Brigitte Nielsen, just there, kind of working out with the hot guys pumping iron all around me. I just I wear one of those black dresses. I kind of do like pinky curls.
She puts on a wig and becomes Red Sonja.
Because Red Sonja.
Exactly.
Well,
Oh my God.
let's break these down a little bit.
Yeah.
Say You Say Me won the Oscar over Power of Love. I didn't think White Nights was critically acclaimed. The big thing about that is Baryshnikov defected from the Soviet Union. He escaped the
Yeah.
United States when the Russian ballet was touring in the United States,
Yes.
and he was able to escape. And I think part of that movie's about that. But it's interesting that
Not entirely, but yeah, I mean, he says it's not biographical. It's not like the exact situation, but yeah, he did. So it would be as if he like crash landed back there, which is a crime, punishable by death to defect
Yeah.
from the Soviet Union. So if you're trapped back there, it would have been bad, to crash land there. So
Yeah, I mean,
it was interesting. It was another one of those super heightened Cold War era. 1986 was really, that's where you get the Rocky 4 with Drago, White Knights, Spies Like Us, Top Gun. It was just, you can really tell this year there was so much Cold War heightened awareness, and it was really it's just part of the time. All the patriotic stuff. So I White Nights was pretty good. I mean, I love Baryshnikov. I was a ballet dancer for a long
Mhm.
time, so saw the movie a lot. But So You Say Me was okay. It's an okay song, but I thought the movie was good. If you like dancing, it's an excellent movie.
Yeah.
Otherwise, probably not so much.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
just,
Um,
I've
go
seen it
ahead.
like once, but that's been like maybe 10 years ago, maybe more.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, I just love the music. I like Lionel Richie.
yeah,
I
he's
love it. I
good.
love his voice. I mean, it's just something about him. But I mean, interesting what you said about the defections. Now, my master's is in history. Now,
Mhm.
I will tell you this. The East Germans had a thing with Cuba where they used to vacation in Cuba.
Hmm.
And the East German airline, Interflug, they would fly, but they could fly direct to Cuba. But coming back, you have to fight the jet stream. So they had to stop in Canada
Hmm.
to refuel, and they had a lot of defections there from the
Yep.
airplane.
Mhm.
Yep. Yeah, and Canada was a pretty easy place to defect in, easier than here actually, because they
Yeah,
could
it
just walk
was.
off and they would grant everyone asylum. So it was so many. Baryshnikov actually was into Canada when he defected, not in
Mhm.
the U.S. and then came here. So that happened a lot.
Mhm. Yeah, a lot of times they fly into like Toronto where you could just cross the border pretty easily.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean,
yeah. So, I mean, that's interesting. Mr. Mister had two top 10 hits. I like both of them. They played. I felt like both of them should be further down.
Way down.
I
Kyrie
like
is just a
Yeah.
beautiful song.
Kyrie Liaison is actually based upon, the saying is, Lord have mercy.
Mhm.
So what it means is Lord have mercy. And if you listen to the song lyrics and you replace Kyrie Liaison with Lord have mercy down the road that I must travel.
mhm,
Lord have mercy on the highway in the night.
mhm.
It's basically a blessing. He's asking for a blessing on his travels, his life, and that's what's interesting about the song to me. He based it on old. I'm not Catholic, but old Catholic
Mhm.
hymns, which I think is a great song. I don't think it should be top 10. And I like Broken Wing as well, but I don't think either one of them should be top 10. They're both great songs. So
Yeah, but
those two.
these songs, if you think about it, again, like the other band, this was a throwback to maybe the earlier '80s.
Hmm.
These songs sound very much like 1984, maybe
Hmm.
'83, and
Right.
I
Yeah.
think they would have also done very well then.
Hmm.
Was
I mean,
this Mr. Mister's only popular record? Because I'm shocked that there are like two songs in the top 10. I know they were both popular and I like them, but like they just seems like way too high and they didn't have a history of
exactly.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean I think it maybe not a one hit wonder, but like a one album wonder and then to be so high. I mean I think they're both really pretty songs. It's just
Mhm.
weird that they're two in the top 10 like that.
Yeah. I mean, this was their biggest album and like their only big album. I don't know what happened to them afterwards, but you're right. I didn't hear any of their hits afterwards. The other thing that gets said about Carrier is that there's a joke about it. Instead of Carrie Liaison, some people heard it wrong. Carry a laser. Carry a laser, doesn't
Through the darkness of the night, carry a
it?
laser.
So,
That's funny.
um,
One thing on White Nights, going back to that movie,
yeah.
the video footage that you see that's in Russia, because you could tell it's kind of bad effects because they couldn't actually be there, obviously. They show them driving through the streets of St. Petersburg, and the film is actually smuggled out of Russia, like in the 60s. So you could see like the buildings look actually a lot nicer than they did in the 80s because they weren't so run down as the communists had like stolen all the gold off the like gold leaf off the buildings and didn't maintain it. So they let it run way down. And all the cars are like 1960s cars. So it's really funny when you see the footage, the background footage, like when they're driving and down the streets. It's like probably 20 to, yeah, at least 20 years outdated to make that movie. And that was like how strict things were in the Cold War era is they couldn't even get film from the 80s out of Russia. Like they couldn't even film street scenes and get the film out. They had to use super old film, which I thought was
Man in the
interesting.
High Castle. Anyone?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That is a great series.
Mhm.
Yes, it is.
Greater book by Philip K. Dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know that one, and then you know, Burning Heart with Rocky IV. Sly Stallone loved Eye of the Tiger, and he got Survivor to do another song for Rocky IV. I don't think it's as good as Eye of the Tiger.
No,
I actually think
not
one
even
of Survivor's
close.
best song.
Yeah, that's not even close. I mean, this is,
Yeah.
Rocky IV. I love the movie. The movie is amazing, and
Mhm.
Heather is 100% right. I mean, she's right. I mean, it is a Cold War masterpiece.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I mean, it is.
break you.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's a Cold War masterpiece, and quite frankly, that Swedish actor that played Drago, I can't remember the name.
Dolph
Dolph
Lundgren.
All
Dolph
four.
Lundgren. Yeah.
He would have taken Sylvester Stallone apart
Oh,
without
he
breaking
did.
a sweat.
He broke Sly's. He hurt Sly so bad that Sly had to go.
Oh yeah, whenever he said, "Yeah, punch me for real,"
Yeah.
and Dolph's
Really?
like, "I don't think you
Yeah.
want me to do that."
Yeah. So
Oh my
Dolph,
God, no,
Dolph
I mean-
Lundgren got his start. He's also a genius.
Yeah,
he's
science,
got
science
he-
major.
he-
Yeah,
MIT,
I know he's a
MIT
chemist.
chemist and all that, but also, so he was Grace Jones's bodyguard for a while, and then they
wow.
got together and started dating, and then he met Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone, and Sylvester Stallone cast him in this movie as his breakout role. But yeah, that's how he got started, was in this movie. But you know, Survivor, in my opinion, you're right. You mentioned it was on the downward of their career.
Yeah, I mean, this is not only the downward of their career. I mean, their career was. I hate to say it, their career was over at this point.
Mhm.
It
The
is.
Script is Over is their best song,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah, I like that song a lot.
Does anybody here have the Eye of the Tiger CD?
No, I don't.
No.
I think
I
I
have-
might have it in the stack of records somewhere.
That I have it on my shelf. That CD has a lot of great songs in it.
Mhm.
But after that, I mean, they did one after that, and it was, I bought it, and I'm going, oh my God, what is this?
Mhm.
It's just.
I'm
Well,
gonna do a quick hot take.
Their lead singer left at one point, and they had to replace him. So
I'm
Yeah,
going to do a quick hot take. It's about 10 seconds. We got
Sure.
Dolph Lundgren, scientist, physical specimen, has even played with a little bit of sorcery as He-Man. Hashtag Dolph Lundgren for Dr. Doom 2024. Let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, look at the thing. I mean, he's also like 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah, I mean, he's a very big man.
He's got the accent. He's got the knowledge in his career path. He's got a physical presence, can do
Yeah.
his own stunts even within a suit of armor.
Good call. I
I
like
mean,
it.
Dolph Lundgren for Dr. Doom. Lundgren
Yeah.
for Doom.
I like it.
I
I'm
love
sorry.
him in the Expendable movies too. He has a lot of lines in those movies.
Yeah.
But-
I know TR Starbrighter says he won the genetic lotto, right? Tall, natural
Yeah, he did.
athlete, model handsome, and a genius. Like,
Yep,
yeah, the
he's-
guy with is like everyone's.
He's the
ideal.
real life Buckaroo Banzai, man. He's the
Amazing.
leader of the Hong Kong Cavaliers. He's good at everything.
All I can tell you is give me one of those black dresses from Addicted to Love and time warp me to 1986.
All right.
So a buddy of mine
God.
just chimed in and said that the lead singer of Survivor did all the Bud Light Real Men of Genius commercials.
Did
Oh,
he?
really?
Hmm.
That was from my buddy Johnny, who has having trouble doing the chat, but
Oh
I
no.
did not know that. Thank you, Johnny, for telling us that. That's awesome.
But
Johnny
the thing-
Lawrence.
No,
the thing is with Sylvester Stallone. I mean, how stupid do you have to be to tell this guy who's like 6'5", he's huge and he's built? Yeah, come on, punch me. I mean, that has to be.
Ego.
No, I can take it. I
can take
it.
Ego.
it's not just ego. It's he wanted authentic and real punches for the fight.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
He wanted to
Than
feel
all the
the
other
power.
Rockers.
Yeah.
broken
Yeah.
ribs, broken
'Cause
noses,
you gotta
Oh,
understand.
orbital
Slaps lung.
fractures.
Sly was in insane shape for this movie.
I mean, yeah,
like
he was.
you look at his body and compared to
Oh
the
my
earlier
God.
Rocky movies where he was just kind of bulky, he is so cut in this. And like, man, he had a serious workout. He is
Machine.
just insanely in shape in this movie.
Machine.
Yeah, I mean, they both were. I mean, they both were.
Yeah. So, I mean, we mentioned Party All the Time by Eddie Murphy. Honestly, Eddie Murphy, if it weren't for Rick James being on part of that, I don't think it would be anything because I don't really think that that's great a song. Eddie, if you're watching, I'm sorry, but I don't think it's your best work.
Eddie Murphy
No.
was so popular, like at this point, right? Because he had the stand-up comedies that went to video, Raw or Delirious. I can't remember which one came first, and Saturday
48
Night
hours.
Live. And he was
Mhm.
just so insanely popular. I think he thought he could sing, like,
Yeah.
and it's just terrible. Like you listen to it
Yeah,
now, it's
exactly.
just god awful. But
Yeah.
he was so popular, it was like, oh yeah, I'll make a record because I'm Eddie Murphy and I can just pretty much do whatever I want.
Yeah. I mean, Beverly
Awesome.
Hills Cop, The Golden Child, all 48 Hours, all those had come out. And yeah, I mean, it was just, I didn't think it was very good. The other song that I don't like on this one is I Miss You by Climax.
Yeah. no.
It was overplayed back then. And even back then, I was turning the radio station because I don't know. It just feels so poppy and bubblegummy and sappy.
Yeah, didn't hold up well at all.
Yeah. Now I know you guys don't think much of Whitney Houston. How Will I Know? I think is a good song. It got played to death on MTV though.
Yeah,
I
too
mean,
much.
every other time it was this video, and she looks cute in it. She's great in it, and I think it was also a big with the dance and club scenes. But man, it just MTV sold this song. I think, honestly, I think a real pretty song. I don't think it deserves to be the top 10, but On My Own is a pretty song.
Yes.
Mhm.
And Michael
I agree.
McDonald's voice is fantastic, regardless
Yes.
of what he's singing.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean it is.
that
You know,
I think the adult contemporary started around this time where it really kind of just lifted it up. But I think it's a very pretty song. I don't think it's top 10 for 86, but it's a pretty song. So go
yeah,
ahead.
you know when Michael McDonald used to do these collaborations with Christopher Cross.
Mm-hmm.
Like Ride Like the Wind, for example.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, he really, it's just, I mean, it just came together.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think this was, the Germans would say gelungen, which
Mhm.
means it's something that really is tight and came together.
Mhm.
So I don't think this is it, and I don't know where they get this idea that this should be in the top 10, or this climax band.
No, yeah.
Jesus.
Well,
Not
it
his best.
selling albums.
Yeah, I mean
That's what determines this. But I don't know. I don't know of any other song by Climax that I can think of. So,
So
mean,
part of it, isn't the top 10, like the top, whatever it is, the whole thing, determined by a mix of sales and radio play, and then like the corporations would start buying radio play, so it's a little bit skewed as to how much promotion got behind it because it's a mix of the two. It's like if it was pushed on radio and you got these big labels, trying to push a song and buying airtime, then they get a little bit of a favorable, rating on the list. It's not it's a little bit corrupt, the whole system.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say about Whitney Houston. I mean, this was also before she destroyed herself with
Yeah.
cocaine and heroin.
Yeah,
so I mean,
this
she
is
still
Bobby
had
Brown.
a voice. Yeah, I mean, she still had
Before
a voice.
Bobby
She
Brown.
still had her looks.
Yeah, she was just making it. This was her big break. This is her big album where she just started to just go. I mean, but yeah, she didn't destroy herself until she met Bobby Brown, and Bobby Brown got her involved in drugs. And
Yeah.
sadly for
And
her,
I don't know why she wanted him. He was so creepy. It's like, ugh, that guy. I never saw the appeal in Bobby Brown at all.
no.
Yeah, I mean, she could have had. I mean, look at all these other people she could have had in her, circle of friends. But Jesus.
But did you know the other story about Whitney Houston? She was with Billy Joel and both the models that Billy Joel's dating. They all met in the Bahamas, and that was when he was writing the Innocent Man album.
I
So
did not know that.
yeah, Billy Joel tells about it. where he met
You know-
Christy Brinkley and Ellie McPherson, and he was actually dating Ellie McPherson
Oh my
when he
God.
met Christy Brinkley.
Wow.
Yeah,
Considering that he's like 5'6" or something, and I know Christy Brinkley's like 5'11".
Right. And
She's
Elle
probably like
McPherson too. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean
she's
she's
tall, too.
she's tall, and think about it. They were like 5-inch heels, and they'll be like 6'4".
hey, never underestimate a man who can play 88 keys.
I
All I'm
don't think
saying.
it's a key. that
I
has the
feel
money.
attacked.
Why do you feel attacked? I mean, that's a compliment. You're trained pianist. You should be able
Right?
to go out and get girls all the time.
Yeah,
right.
until they see my hands.
The-
You
the
saw
mus-
my hands. You saw the damage dealt to get to that point.
The musicians and the singers get all the chicks, regardless of how they look.
Oh yeah.
You would
Which is
think,
fine.
right?
Yeah, right. You know.
You would think.
So, all right. So that's our top 10. Any other thoughts? Anything outside the top 10? Anything we didn't mention? And I'll go ahead and remove the slides here. Any other opinions or anything? I know we mentioned a bunch in that.
Oh, I know. We went through that the 41 through 100, man. We just listed all the songs off like
We
rapid
were like,
fire, right?
yeah,
There
like
so many.
how dare they?
So
Yeah.
One of my
many in
favorite
there.
songs to sing Theta Zord. Everybody wants to rule the world. I do that every Saturday morning and evening.
Yeah. Oh, I love that song. Everybody wants to rule the world. But like,
I might have to sing Human though, because it got that Human League sound.
Human's a great song.
Yeah.
It
But
is.
yeah, I looked at this top 40 and I'm like, half of the top 40, I'm like, what is this doing here?
Yeah.
I turned the station every time this song came on.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
All
Hold
the
on, I
upper
got my
half.
cat in.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of the upper half. So,
are you sure you're not having the Mandela effect or something?
no,
Oh my God, it's just
no, because I have a nearly identical memory and I remember 1986 and I remember some of these songs and stuff like that. And to be honest, what Heather and Elle and I are talking about is if they're part of a movie track, they probably get pushed. So that's why they're up here. If they were part of a charity, they probably got pushed a little bit more and got moved up here. If they had a famous person, they were pushed. So you had a lot of corporate push, I think, in this year of music, definitely for these top 10, because there's no way some of these songs were that great.
yeah. I mean,
That people were buying.
SB4H makes a valid point. He says, didn't matter. Billy Joel had money and could sing and could play the piano. Now, I have two of those things. Can you guess which two?
Oh, you have money and can play the piano? Yeah, you have money.
Good one.
yeah, but he can't sing.
I
so-
wish I had the money now. Jesus.
Wow.
Cool. All right. Well, this will
Yeah,
wrap
but
up.
Wes Cagle is right too. It's somewhere in time. I have that.
Iron Maiden.
That is-
Yeah, Iron
That is
Maiden
a
was out.
yeah.
great CD.
So-
That is a. I'm not the biggest Iron Maiden fan, but that is a great CD.
Hmm.
Their artwork is amazing.
But I don't think it came out in '86, though. I think it was early
86.
'87,
No, I think it did come out in 86.
'86.
Was
Yep.
Wasted Years on that album? Was that on that album? Was Wasted Years on that album? Because Wasted Years went mainstream.
Hmm. I think so.
So, because I remember the video. So, especially since it came out around Halloween, which made it even cooler. But yeah, Wes Cagle says it's 86. But
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 86.
so I had suggested to Tony, because we don't have a lot of metal, really didn't make it to the mainstream and had its own following. But Tony, you want to talk about maybe putting together a metal review?
See, you're putting me on blast. This was supposed to be post-show discussions, but yes.
Well, you want to
cordially-
advertise it, right?
I don't want to advertise it because I want you out there.
Well, you do. Well, I guess we could call it a soft sale. Let's meet there
Right.
and call it a soft
That's right.
sale.
Test market.
Because you do this every other Sunday, and I was thinking to myself at this particular time slot, I could get Heather L, Fet for Hire, Lenrod, yourself, Agent Pepsi 1, and if she's into more heavy metal and rock, and do a bit of a discussion, just talking about a particular artist or legacy. We'll actually do it by discography. We'll do it by discography.
Or like pick a band or pick a year.
Yeah,
pick
pick a
Imagine
band,
if you
pick a
talk about
band
Deep
discography
Purple.
because Robert Wright does it by the year. We can do it by the discography, by the band discography.
We just don't want to get
Um,
too broad of a topic. Like you could
Yeah.
pick a band and
You know,
or pick a group.
if
But I
you
was
could
thinking
do a
about
Deep
doing that over
Purple,
there at Stark Tower at this particular slot on every off day from doing the chart toppers here. Just to fill the void for everybody that wants to talk music. And of course, I love heavy metal. I love hard rock, heavy metal. I even go further. I kind of like some death metal and some punk, and like I'm good friends with Guar. I'm good friends with Mike and Don and the late Dave. I never got to meet Corey though. Corey passed before I got a chance to meet him. But I could tell you some stories, and we could also like add that as a segment, like stories at the concerts that we went to.
Oh, yeah.
God, I got plenty of those.
Oh yeah.
This is basically in a format. The reason why I'm suggesting it is a format that because I was talking a lot of Decepticon stuff in the chat here. I used to be part of a Google Hangout show called Hangar 18, where every member of that particular podcast took the role of a seeker in the Decepticons, and I was Hotlink at the time. And I kind of want to bring back that Hangar 18 vibe. The show will have the name, but obviously we'll be ourselves. Because the Hangar 18 is one of my favorite songs. That was the name that I suggested for the group, was Hangar 18.
Cool.
Since we were all like, supposed to be Decepticon seekers, why wouldn't we be in Hangar 18? So I kind of want to bring that back. I love metal. Was such an integral part in my life. Like, not just, when I was younger, but like it helped my creative spark. I used to like slap junk together when I was a kid. I was a bit of an inventor growing up.
Cool. That's awesome.
And heavy metal heavily, pun intended, inspired that. And I kind of want this to be a thing. Cool. So if you guys are up for it and don't mind the radiation and the occasional raider or super mutant trying to gnaw your leg off, or the kid that I adopted from Robert Wright, you still lose.
Oh, that's
hey, and while we're at the tower, I might have the opportunity just snoop around a little bit, figure out what you're.
figure out some codes.
Yeah.
But
just sneak around, get all of my secrets. I'll be sure that there's plenty of auto turrets to greet you.
So Tony, what else? Plug away. What else do you have coming up?
My voice, for lack of a better word, is shot. I performed heavily and amicably these last 72 hours. So I'm going to be doing some writing room stuff for the next few days, release a few videos, but obviously I do have an after party. Right after the biggest variety show on YouTube. I like to clutch my silver medal and say I'm the second best variety show on YouTube. I like to clutch it close to the heart. And then that following night, I have a full-length one called The Full Monty. It's just longer and at primetime hours for people that don't sleep, or people that have to sleep and want to catch it. Fallout show Sunday afternoons that lead up to this on these particular Sundays, and I really need to bring back the Tower After Hours, but the guest that I'm talking to has a bit of a line, so I haven't been doing Tower After Hours lately. My Johnny Carson themed show. Lots of work. Ironside reviews and Ironclad reviews and Ironside news are my new video segments. I've gotten a lot more comfortable with set building, voice acting, scripting, video editing. I guess this is what it's like to be a YouTuber. I don't know. I wish that my cousin Miyamaro, Mexican Iron Man, would give me some tips on being a YouTuber. But well, that's about all I got. So booked week. Thank you guys again for your continued support. I do want to make my show and my channel a bit of a viable source of income, and then get like a side hustle in a couple of months, just a part-time job somewhere, just for cash flow, and be able to focus on building my channel. We're up to 1,020 people now.
Cool.
And
nice.
I hope that I continue to entertain.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I hope
So-
to continue to entertain and to make everybody smile and to do the same good work that some of our good friends do. And yeah, so
Cool. Heather, do you want to talk about what's coming up on Doomcock's channel on Wednesday?
Well, our normal pop culture breakdown. But I actually don't know the movie. I can't remember it.
Blue Thunder.
Blue Thunder. Oh, I'm going to be there. I totally forgot that part, but man.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Thunder.
that's
But yeah,
what-
it's great. Pop culture breakdown is always great. And Friday Night Frolics.
Mhm. Yeah, some of the references here from Friday Night Frolics because we're all there on Doomcock's channel.
Yep.
Agent Pepsi One, anything on your channel or anything you want
Yeah,
to
I mean, there's nothing new on my channel, but it's just I'm so busy with work. It's I just finished the second week of teaching. Oh my God,
Mhm.
I want to strangle some of the students already.
Oh,
right.
And you know,
Right.
this is I hate to say it, giving away my age, but this is my 12th year of teaching now. It's just my hair is turning. I
it's
found
too
gray hairs,
early.
and
Wow, I can't believe you started teaching when you were 17.
oh my God, you're too sweet. But just about Blue Thunder.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
I was in the Army, I was a 15 Yankee, which is an
Awesome.
avionics tech for the Apache. So,
Mm.
I will tell you this Blue Thunder helicopter would have been blown out of the sky if they should have used an Apache, but that's just me. But
Cool.
I am going to be there on Wednesday, hopefully, Lord willing.
Awesome.
So, yeah, no, I mean, there's nothing new. If you can tell me how to get over my allergies and my anger issues with the students, I'll be okay.
God.
Well,
that's
if
the
you're
answer.
down to
Yeah.
hang out on my side of things, Agent Pepsi One,
But
on these
I have to
Sundays.
pay the bills. I have to pay the bills. And,
Yeah.
and they do pay quite well, actually.
Cool.
So,
That's good though. At least you're making the money that you deserve.
hey, I mean,
It's
it's a 10-month contract, and that's one of the reasons I took this job is because you work for 10 months on contract. I work 187 days. So
that's not bad.
not at all, and not at all. And
More time off than I get. Cool.
Yeah. It is
yeah, or
nice
my
that he's-
husband, he doesn't get nowhere near the time off I get.
All right. So coming up on my channel, I'm doing a review this week. I don't know when it'll drop. It may be Friday. It just depends on how quickly I can get out. Beverly Hills Cop is what I'm doing a review on. I'm also on Doomcock's Pop Culture Breakdown on Wednesday night, and we are doing Blue Thunder. So it should be great. And then stick with us because next month we'll do 1987. So,
Good stuff.
all right. Anything else you guys want to plug or anything else we needed to say or ready to wrap it up?
My good friend Theta Zord is having a birthday stream next Saturday. I think that
Oh,
falls
congratulations. Happy birthday.
Okay.
on the
Yeah.
24th. So he's a talented individual. He started out as a music video commentator, but his real home is with us here in the geekosphere, here within the extended community of all of us who want to fight for pop culture. Being Xanadu, Midnight's Edge, Valhalla, etc. He's a good man. He's got a big heart. And he's going places, and I'm taking him under my wing to show him some ropes. I'm going to be making him a commercial throughout this next week,
Cool.
and getting him set up right and proper. So give him some love on Saturday.
Cool. Well, happy birthday. That is a word early. Thank you so much, audience, for joining us. We thank you for just being here and for loving the chat and loving this great year of music. The top
Yeah.
is not as great as the latter part. And we'll see you next month when we do 1987.
Yeah.
Take care, everybody.
Great chat today.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
fun.
See you guys.
See you guys.
See ya.
Bye.